History holds few mysteries as chilling as the disappearance of two young boys in the summer of 1483. They were royal, innocent, and at the very heart of England's bloody Wars of the Roses. Their vanishing would haunt the Tudor age, taint a king's legacy, and leave behind a riddle that, even 5 centuries later, has never been solved. In April 1483, King Edward IV of England, the powerful Yorkist monarch, died unexpectedly at just 40 years old. His death plunged the nation into uncertainty. His heir, Edward V, was only 12 years old. Too young to rule, the boy was placed under the protection of his uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, Edward IV's loyal brother, who had long served as a trusted commander. Alongside Edward was his younger brother, Richard, Duke of York, just 9 years old. Together they became known as the Princes in the Tower. Richard of Gloucester was named Lord Protector, the man entrusted to safeguard his nephews until Edward V could be crowned. But ambition and power rarely mix with loyalty, and within weeks Richard began to tighten his grip on the throne. Edward V was escorted to London and lodged in the Tower of London, a royal fortress often used to house kings before their coronation. His younger brother soon joined him. What seemed a temporary arrangement grew darker. The coronation was mysteriously delayed, then cancelled altogether. In a stunning twist, Richard claimed that Edward IV's marriage to Elizabeth Woodville, the prince's mother, had been invalid, meaning their children were illegitimate and had no right to the crown. With Parliament's backing, Richard crowned himself King Richard III in July 1483. The two princes, once heirs to the throne, were now declared bastards. And locked away in the Tower, they faded from public view. At first, people believed the boys might still be alive, merely hidden from sight. But by late summer of 1483, rumours swirled that something far more sinister had happened. Chroniclers wrote that the princes were seen playing in the Tower's grounds, until suddenly, they weren't. Witnesses claimed their chambers were empty, their laughter gone. No one could say with certainty what became of them, and the whispers soon turned to accusations. Had Richard III murdered his own nephews to secure the crown? Richard III is history's prime suspect. As king, he benefited most from their disappearance, removing any rival claims to his throne. Some accounts, like that of Sir Thomas More decades later, claimed the boys were smothered in their sleep, their bodies buried within the Tower's walls. Shakespeare immortalised Richard as the hunchbacked villain who ordered their deaths. Yet others argue Richard's hands may not have been bloodied. Henry Stafford, the Duke of Buckingham, once Richard's ally, had both access and ambition. He too could have arranged the boys' deaths, possibly to curry favour with Richard or even to clear his own path to power. Still others point to Henry Tudor, later Henry VII. When he seized the throne in 1485 after Richard's death at Bosworth, Henry had everything to gain by ensuring the princes were gone forever. Could the boys have lived until Tudor's men silenced them? The mystery deepened in 1674 when workers renovating the tower discovered a wooden chest hidden beneath a staircase. Inside were two small skeletons. King Charles II ordered them interred in Westminster Abbey, believed to be the lost princes. Yet forensic tests have never conclusively proven their identities, and other bones found in the tower over the years complicate the story. The disappearance of Edward V and his brother remains one of England's greatest unsolved crimes. Were they murdered on Richard's orders, victims of a ruthless usurper? Were they secretly spirited away, living hidden lives far from the crown? Or were they casualties of the endless power struggles of a kingdom at war with itself? Richard III ruled for only 2 years before falling to Henry Tudor at Bosworth. But the whispers of the tower never faded, and his reign is forever darkened by the shadow of two boys who entered a fortress but never emerged. The truth of what happened in 1483 may never be known, But the story of the princes in the tower endures as both a tragedy and a warning. In the ruthless game of thrones, innocence was no protection.